Good morning, happy Tuesday. Olivia was doing flips on this earlier in the week. It's time to go to the gym. It's time for you guys to listen to this podcast, radio station interview that was done about a week ago, maybe. I'm a little lost. It's been a crazy week. So you could listen to this, jump on a treadmill, go for a walk, throw some earbuds in. There's really nothing to watch other than the fancy color line thing I learned how to do. But enjoy. I'll be back after the gym.
Only on WICC 600 AM and 107.3 FM.
And welcome back to the show. So I'm very delighted to welcome Aaron and Liz Simon of Simon Says Farms of Salem, Connecticut, one of our more beautiful places here in our beautiful state of Connecticut, because they are doing something that is one of my alternate realities, road not taken, dreams that may never come true. But they're doing it. They're living it. And they have a goat farm. And it's one of the things I always wanted to do. Welcome Aaron and Liz Simon to the Lisa Wexler Show today. Hello.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for having us.
Hello. Thank you.
So first of all, I want to tell you two things, then I want to hear everything about what you're doing. First thing I want to tell you is that I have a machatenim, which you have no idea what that means. But basically, we don't have a word for it in English. It's my son-in-law's parents, or machatenim. It's a Yiddish word, right? So it describes like the in-laws to the in-laws, but we don't really have a word for that in English. And because like you're related to them, but not. So my son-in-law's father is a goat shepherd in Israel.
Wow.
And he and his wife have 40 goats. And, I mean, they also do something else sort of to make a living, because it's hard to make a living as a goat shepherd.
Yeah.
But every day they go out with their goats and they take them into these beautiful hills in Israel. And he's got about 40 goats, and she makes magnificent goat cheeses. And they have this flock of goats. That's what they do. And so I just wanted you to know that. I can't wait to visit them. I haven't been there to see it yet, but I will one day. And then the other thing I wanted you to know is that many years ago, after my son Jonathan was born, so over 30 years ago, I volunteered for a farm called Muscoot Farm. Are you familiar with Muscoot Farm in Westchester County? Do you know?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Muscoot Farm is 800 acres of farmland that Westchester County bought and manages as a farm with 19th century farming methods. So they have like no tractors. Everything is done by hand, all the milking, everything by hand. And on Thursday mornings, as a new mother, I said, I have to get out of here. I love my son, but I got to have a day off. So what could I have as a day off? I wanted to work on a farm. And I got up at the crack of dawn, and I worked on Muscoot Farm for a year. And one day, I helped birth goats. And they came out of the bellies, and they were immediately bottle fed at Muscoot Farm. They were afraid these goats wouldn't just be able to survive with their mom. So we immediately had, bottle, and I had this thrill in my mind's eye. I still remember all the goats being born and nursing the goats as little baby goats as they were being born. I just wanted you to know that. So I have an affinity for what you do, even though I have, it's just that. I have an affection and affinity for what you do. So that's why I asked you on the show, because I have a thing about goats.
Yeah.
So tell me your story, Aaron and Liz. Let me begin with you, Liz.
Okay.
Did you grow up on a farm? What made you decide to do this? Tell us your story.
Yeah, so I did not grow up on a farm. We are first generation goat farmers. And I guess I got bit by the bug when I was in my early, say 12, 13 years old, when a family friend of ours had 2 goats, let's say, and we lived right up the hill from them. And unfortunately, she had 4 babies and mom did not make it. So we were bottle feeding, and I volunteered for that early morning feeding to take a little bit off of, the owners, our family friends' plates. And I really just, at 12 or 13 years old, I sat in their barn. I bottle fed these babies. I nicknamed them Jumper, Thumper, Bumper. They were characters. And I had no idea at that point that was going to be such a core memory that really kind of catapulted my decisions later in my 20s and 30s after I had my own kids and started thinking about what am I putting into their mouths? And we started with the chickens and ate their eggs. And then I wanted to get away from some of the more commercialized milk industry. And, as much as I love cows, no offense to cows, I just couldn't personally see being around cows with such a young family. I was worried about just, the safety concerns with such a big animal. And then I channeled that experience I had when I was 12 with these cute little baby goats. And I was like, yes, that is what we're doing. And
they're so cute.
They are just so personable. And, one of the things that we like to share with the community is get over the whole connotation of goats being, garbage disposals and dirty and not so personable. You see a lot of TikToks of goats headbutting people. And, we open our farm to have people experience how personable they are, how sweet they are, how cuddly they can be. And each one of them can be so different.
Well, that's wonderful. So, and Aaron, what about you? Did you grow up on a farm?
No, I didn't grow up on a farm either. I had, if I go way back, in my 10, 11, 12-year-old range, I had an uncle who lived on like 14, 15 acres in upstate New York, and he had horses, and his girlfriend at the time had goats, and there was this little bit of farm animal experience there, but my parents, not at all. My grandfather did raise chickens and stuff in the backyard and rabbits, very Portuguese family out of the Danbury area. So that was my farm experience, but I've always been an outdoorsy person. I just want to be outside all the time. So that was kind of my adventure. When my wife asked me, are you sitting down? I got a question. I was like, well, I hope I'm sitting down. I'm driving. She goes, I want to get chickens. I remember that.
That was before chickens were trendy.
Yeah, way before chickens were 18-ish years ago. Our oldest son just turned 18, and we got chickens right around the year he was born. That's when it all started.
Wow. So, and Liz, where did you grow up?
So I was born in Pennsylvania, but I did most of my childhood growing up in Canton, Connecticut.
And that's a pretty rural part of Connecticut.
Yeah, we were actually a smaller, when we first moved to Connecticut, we were actually in Collinsville, which is a smaller town within the town of Canton. And back then, we're talking 30 years ago. It was very, very quiet. It has built up quite a lot since then, but it was very quiet, very, very, very nice out there. So that's kind of, I grew up just climbing up the creeks and all of that, being outdoors, and that's kind of what we wanted for our kids as well.
And so you have 4 children together.
Yes.
And congratulations on your family. And you have over 30 goats?
Yeah.
30 goats?
Yeah, we're hanging around. I think I want to say we try not to count them because it makes Aaron twitch. But yeah, I think we're at about 35 to 37 goats right now.
And it's called Simon Says Farms, but it's spelled SYMAN.
Correct.
Right? Simon Says Farms.
Yep.
So tell us first of all, how do you make a living nowadays as farmers with goats? Literally, how do you pay your bills?
So this is how we pay our bills now. Let me backtrack a little. We started with the chickens, then we moved because we wanted to get goats, but we didn't have enough property, right? So you had to deal with all the town stuff. So that's when we moved to Salem with the plan to get goats. Not a business, just a hobby at that point, but I have this problem. It basically means I turn everything into a business. Because, a lot of people out there have their day job, but they really hate Monday and love Friday. So you always have that little side hustle. You might play golf, and you're like, if I could get paid to play golf, I would. Or you might cook, and if I could get paid to cook, I would. And all that kind of stuff. And then fast forward, our little hobby started to turn into a business. And then COVID happened, and that's when I got laid off. And we said, okay, now's the time. Our little hobby was bringing in some money, but not enough to pay the bills. So that's when we turned and put the fuel on the fire on every social media platform pretty much out there, between
YouTube, multiple different YouTube channels, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, all of them, just because nobody's going to find your product if you don't talk about it. And then we went live in our barn one day. A little before COVID, we went live, actually. We were getting a lot of questions like, hey, we found you. We've seen you at the country fair. What can we buy? What do you have for sale? What do you guys do? And at that point, we only had a barbecue sauce that we grew, peppers. We had some lotion, some goat milk lotion, and you got to get FDA approved for that. And that took some time. And then we were like, with 4 kids, the fair circuit was so hard to do. We went to the internet. We went to the internet, we built a website, and we live stream our goat barn 24 hours a day and allow people to have that same experience you had with the goats being born, but virtually. And we did that pre-COVID. That was pre-COVID. So we have a live channel that runs 24 hours a day all the time. And then the goat snuggling started. People were very excited about these baby goats actually showing up to the house unannounced, wanting to see our baby goats. And we were like, ooh, we got a problem here. And then we turned it into an event that happens yearly. And there's a whole story there. One time, 2,000 people showed up at the house, and we were like, we can't do it this way anymore. So we launched Baby Goat Snuggles in, what year was that? 2000?
Baby Goat Snuggles was a result of 2019's free open barn event.
Right.
And so we, for 3 years in a row, so that was 17, 18, and 19, we did a free open barn event to just give back to the community and show them these cute baby goats and just, have them have that opportunity for the exposure with our goats. And that was very well received. To Aaron's point, our 3rd year, we had 2,000 people show up at the farm, and we were not ready for that. So we kind of thought about how can we still allow people to have this experience with the goats, but have it be more of what we would like it to be. So small group session, an hour to do whatever you would like with the goats. You can lay a blanket out in the paddock and just watch them, or you can have, invite them over with, you bribe them with a little bit of food, and they'll come and sit down with you, and some of them will nap with you. We wanted that experience, not the overcrowded, 2,000 people experience. So
and is it working? Are people doing it?
Absolutely.
Signing up for it.
Absolutely.
And what about cheeses? Do you make cheese out of your goats?
So we do. We make right. We milk them, and we will make it for our own family. But we're not a licensed commercial dairy, so we cannot actually sell our goat cheese to anybody. We are all about the natural products for lotions, soaps, lip balms, bath salts, all the cosmetic stuff. So you can still get a lot of benefit from that.
Yes.
Yeah, that we make, in our Monday through Friday, we're manufacturing, and then Thursday through Sunday during the spring and early summer months is when we open up the farm to the baby goat snuggles.
So to answer your question, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was
going to say, so like for birthday parties and things, can you bring like 10 kids up there and have the birthday party center around going to Simon's farm and snuggling with goats? Can people do that?
Well, sort of. So the way we do it, because it's such a small window, all the babies are born in usually February, March, all live on YouTube. And then April in the spring is when we open the baby goat snuggles. It's like buying a concert ticket. So you go on our website, you pick the date and time you want to come. It's a rain or shine event because the goats still have to get fed in the rain. So some people get to enjoy the rain experience. But and then you show it, people have come, a party of 10 to like, it's her birthday, and usually we draw a very eclectic crowd, but I would say we see people that are in their 40s and 50s enjoying their birthday with 4 or 5 girlfriends at our goat farm. Like, that's the type of crowd that shows up. It's usually not a kid crowd birthday party event because we don't do food, we don't do any of that stuff. But But yeah, you can jump online and see what session is open in that April-May time frame, because that's the only time of year we're open to the public, because that's when the baby goats are here.
I see. And so the rest of the time, it's just you guys as a family and your goats and your soaps and your lotions. But you're a farm, so I imagine you're on the side of a road someplace. You probably have a gift shop if people want to come and just visit you, and they can probably just, generally speaking, see what you're about and enjoy being at a farm. Right?
No. So only, again, we are an internet company first. We're an internet company first, social media first. Yeah, different this day and age.
Okay.
Social media first, internet first, 24 hours a day. You can look at our goats right now. Just type in Simon Says Farms, SYMAN, put it in Google and you'll find it. Go to YouTube and you'll literally see Greta eating her hay right now, probably. She might actually not be eating hay now. She's probably fat and happy because it's that time of day. And then in April and May, that's the only, and sometimes June, that's the only time of the year our store and our farm is open, because like Liz said, we're a manufacturing company that makes thousands of bars of soaps and lotions. That's what we do. The other 9, we're already into the Christmas production time. And then we're a content company. We're building content all day long, you know, between all the different social media channels and all that. So we only have like a 60 to 90 day window to allow people, for us to actually slow down and allow people to come and enjoy the goats actually in person.
Beautiful. Well, thank you guys. I love this. So you're doing farming in a traditional method, but you're introducing it to us in a modern way.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, Aaron and Liz Simon, SYMAN, from Simon Says Farms. Thanks for taking some space in Connecticut and devoting it to agricultural uses. I think we like to think of ourselves in Connecticut as having a lot more farms than we really do.
Yep.
But we can appreciate from afar your way of life, and thank you for sustaining it and keeping it alive.
Well, thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Maybe next spring I'll get to go see the goats.
Absolutely.
Since I bottle fed a baby goat.
Absolutely.
Really fun to do. All right. Thank you so much, Aaron and Liz Simon, for being with us today on the Lisa Wexler Show. We're going to be right back.
The Lisa Wexler Show podcast is available 24/7.
I don't know. What do we do now? Sometimes they come on and say, hey, thanks for blah, 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 but they're not.
Okay, we're just growing in your job. Onboard USA's
Yeah, she can call us back if she wants. We got to get Stella home. Stella, did you enjoy that? You didn't talk much.
The rain has started earlier than I wanted to. Good day at the gym. Not bad. You know? So that call was interesting. I don't know how she found us. We got an email from them that wanted to do this radio show. I don't know if she found us on Google or saw another article, maybe the newspaper one, or even the other radio show, but that one was out of like South Carolina. But I just thought it was interesting that there was that misconception of, well, you must have a farm stand. We can send people. No. Don't send people here, which is funny because we've actually had 2 or 3 people show up in the last couple weeks wanting to get in, and thank goodness for the gate. One time the gate was open and somebody came all the way down, and there's the security risk and all that fun stuff. But it was great, good conversation, educating people that it's not your typical farm. It's not your typical farm stand. We rely on technology. And what I was trying to say was it doesn't take quantity, it takes quality, meaning we have this channel, this YouTube, this YouTube here, the live channel there, the radio show there, the whatever, and technically anyone can listen. So you got hundreds of millions of people that can hear it. But obviously we don't have hundreds of millions of people following us. We have quality people following us, and we thank you so much for that. Thank you for listening and watching every day. And I don't have the number on my watch, and I don't have the number in my phone because I can't see it. Well, we got less than 100 videos to go before we change it up. Don't know exactly what we're doing, but Liz and I are talking, coming up with ideas of what to do with this channel. And don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We just might change the format a little. All right, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I won't be able to say that anymore. We'll have to come up with a new tagline. Bye-bye.